Ever wonder how the AFC Asian Cup came to be? The tale begins in the mid-20th century when the Asian Football Confederation was established in 1954. This marked a significant step forward for football in Asia, bringing nations together under a common banner of sport. The conception of the Asian Cup was a natural extension of this unity. The aim? To showcase the best that Asian football had to offer, to encourage competition and growth within the sport across the continent. And so, the journey began. Just 2 short years after the formation of the Asian Football Confederation, the inaugural AFC Asian Cup took place. The year was 1956, and the stage was set for a tournament that would go on to become a celebrated event in the world of football. So the first Asian Cup was held in 1956, but how did it evolve from there? Join us as we delve deeper into this fascinating history. The Asian Cup has certainly evolved since its inception, hasn't it? The period from 1960 to 1980 was a time of both growth and contention. Iran, for example, emerged as a dominant force, their team's prowess on the field unquestionable. They clutched the coveted trophy not once, not twice, but 3 consecutive times from 1968 to 1976, a feat that remains unmatched to this day. Meanwhile, 1964 was a year of triumph for Israel, as they clinched their first and only Asian Cup title. However, their success was not without controversy. The political climate of the time was turbulent, and due to escalating geopolitical tensions, Israel was eventually removed from the tournament. From political issues to dominant teams, the early years of the AFC Asian Cup were certainly eventful. But what happened next? As we moved into the modern era, the AFC Asian Cup began to take the shape we're familiar with today. The 80s marked a significant turning point for the tournament. The number of participating teams increased, and the competition began to heat up. One of the key factors that propelled the tournament into the modern era was the emergence of new powerhouses. Japan and South Korea, 2 nations that have since become synonymous with Asian football, began to make their mark. Their relentless pursuit of excellence, coupled with their passion for the game, helped elevate the tournament's status on the global stage. The 80s and 90s were filled with memorable moments and thrilling matches. These decades saw the rise of legendary players who left an indelible mark on the tournament and the sport. The matches were no longer predictable. The underdogs started to challenge the established order, making the tournament more exciting and unpredictable. As the new millennium dawned, the AFC Asian Cup continued its expansion. The tournament started to attract more teams from across the continent, increasing from 12 to 16 in the 2004 edition. This expansion not only meant more football, but also more diversity. It gave a platform to teams from different parts of Asia to showcase their talent and make their mark on the tournament. The increasing competitiveness of the tournament was evident in the nail-biting matches and surprising outcomes. The underdogs continued to challenge the heavyweights, and the gap between the traditional powerhouses and the emerging teams started to narrow. The modern era of the AFC Asian Cup was not just about the expansion and increased competitiveness, it was also about the celebration of Asian football and its growth. It was about the passion of the fans, the skill of the players, and the spirit of the game. The modern era brought more teams, more competition, and more excitement. But what does the future hold for the AFC Asian Cup? The AFC Asian Cup has had a fascinating history, but what's in store for the future? The tournament has already seen significant growth, expanding to 24 teams in 2019. This expansion not only increased participation, but also sparked an intense competition that has elevated the quality of Asian football. But the growth doesn't stop there. The future holds the potential for even more expansion. As the popularity of football continues to rise in Asia, we can anticipate more countries striving to make their mark in this prestigious tournament. Moreover, the increasing quality of Asian football is impossible to ignore. With each tournament, the teams demonstrate exceptional skill and strategy, pushing the boundaries of what's possible on the pitch. It's not out of the question to predict that, in the near future, we may witness an Asian team hoisting the World Cup. The future of the AFC Asian Cup looks bright, with more competition and higher quality football on the horizon. So, that's the story of the AFC Asian Cup, from its early beginnings to the present day and beyond. An incredible journey, wouldn't you agree? Let's take a moment to recap the highlights that have shaped this prestigious tournament. Our story begins in the mid-20th century, with the birth of the AFC Asian Cup. It was a time when Asian football was still finding its footing, and the creation of the Cup marked a significant milestone in its development. The tournament started small, but it was the seed that would grow into a grand spectacle of Asian football. As the years rolled on, the tournament evolved, reflecting the changing dynamics of the world around it. We've seen how political issues have influenced the Cup, altering its course and shaping its identity. Yet through thick and thin, the tournament has endured, serving as a beacon of unity and sportsmanship. The modern era of the AFC Asian Cup ushered in a new dawn. New powerhouses emerged, challenging the old guard and redefining the landscape of Asian football. With each tournament, the competition intensified, and the quality of play reached new heights. The Cup was no longer a minor event, it had become a major highlight in the global football calendar. Now, we look to the future. The potential for growth is immense, and the possibilities are as vast as the continent itself. The AFC Asian Cup will continue to evolve, adapting to the changing times and striving to reach new frontiers. It's a journey that's far from over, and we can't wait to see what the next chapter holds. From humble beginnings, the AFC Asian Cup has grown into a showcase of the best that Asian football has to offer. Who knows what the future holds, but one thing's for sure, it's going to be exciting to watch.